Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to make a very quick and easy bookmark, and you can make these bookmarks in any number of colors. So here are a few examples where I've used yellow, pink, violet and a kind of red color. And there are other bookmark tutorials available in my channel, so do check them out as well. And I hope you like today's tutorial. Let's get started. So before starting the tutorial, I would like to say that the details related to the yarn used for this bookmark and the other items required for today's project will be available in the description of this video. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 3. So we're starting off with the green yarn. So make a chain of 3 after the slip knot. So chain 1, chain 2 and chain 3. Now into the third chain or the third stitch from the hook, we're going to make 3 half double crochets in it. So make the first half double crochet, followed by the second half double crochet. So this is nothing but the base stitch or the first stitch that we're going to make all the 3 half double crochets in. And after that, make a chain of 2 and slip stitch back into the same stitch. Now we are going to make a long chain of 45. So the number of chains out here, you can change the number of it based on the length of your book. So this length or this chain of 45 is based on the length of your book, so you can make it shorter or longer by reducing the number of chains. So after the chain of 45, we're going to make 3 double crochets together on the 4th chain from the hook. So yarn over and pull a loop under the 4th chain from the hook and pull through 2 loops. Now again yarn over and pull through the same stitch and pull through 2 loops again. Yarn over, pull through the same stitch and pull through 2 loops again. So you should be having a total of 4 loops in the hook now. And once you have 4 loops, you pull through all the loops. So we'll make a chain 2 picot. So for that, chain 2 first and insert your hook into the base stitch and make a slip stitch. Now make a chain of 1 and now yarn over and into the next stitch, insert your hook and pull a loop through it and pull through 2 stitches alone, and then yarn over and repeat this a total of 3 times. So this is again a 3 double crochets together that we are doing in the next stitch. Now when you have 4 loops in the hook, pull through all of them and then make a slip stitch. Now we're going to make a chain 2 picot. So make a chain of 2, insert your hook into the base stitch and make a slip stitch. Now make a chain of 3 and slip stitch into the very same stitch. Now chain 1 and pull the yarn tight to make a knot and trim off the yarn. So we have 2 tail yarns, one here and one at the other end. We will be stitching in both the tail yarn. To stitch in the tail yarn, you can use a needle or use a smaller crochet hook. So here I'm using a smaller crochet hook and pulling the tail yarn through few of the existing stitches, and once I feel that the tail yarn is secure, I'm just going to trim it off. You can also place a dab of glue or fabric glue to the ends to make sure that the tail yarn does not come off. You can also stitch in the tail yarn using a needle. So for that, you'll have to leave a longer tail yarn and thread it through a needle and then pass it through a few existing stitches and then trim off. Now we're done with the body part of the bookmark. We're going to make the flower and the bud. So using the flower and the bud color, like here I'm using yellow, you're going to make a slip knot and you're going to make the bud first. So here if you remember, we started off with a chain 2. So under the chain 2, insert your hook and then pull this slip knot through it. So we made the slip knot using the yellow yarn. We are pulling it through the under the chain 2 stitch. Now we're going to chain 2 again, and now we are going to make 4 double crochets together in the next 2 stitches. So each stitch will have 2 double crochets in it. So this is the first double crochet. We're pulling through only the first 2 loops. This is the second double crochet. Here too we're pulling through only 2 loops. Now the third and fourth double crochet will be in the next stitch. So here also we're pulling through only 2 loops. And this is the fourth double crochet, and here too we're pulling through only 2 loops. So you should have a total of 5 loops on your hook, and now you are going to pull through all the loops and make a slip stitch. And on top of that we're going to do a chain 3 picot. So make a chain of 3 first, chain 3, and then slip stitch to the base of this stitch here. And now we're going to chain 2 again, and then we're going to slip stitch under the chain 2, that is the green chain 2. So this is the last chain 2 at the end, and under this we're going to insert our hook and we're going to make a slip stitch. So after making the slip stitch, we are going to chain 1 and pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and then trim the yarn. Now stitch in the yellow tail yarn. So you can pass it through few of the existing stitches of the yellow bud, and once you feel that the yarn is secure, you can trim it off. So here your bud is ready on one end of the bookmark. Now we are going to work on the flower on the other end. So for that, take the yellow yarn again and make a slip knot, and this slip knot you're going to pass it through the picot stitch. So you remember we had made 2 picot stitch on this end. So under the first picot stitch is where one of the petal will be placed. So as you can see, this is the top of the first leaf, and here is the picot stitch. Pull the slip knot under or through this stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 2. So after going to first make the chain of 2, and after the chain 2 we're going to make 5 double crochets into the same stitch. This is the first double crochet, then the second double crochet, the third double crochet, the fourth double crochet, and the fifth double crochet. We're going to chain 2 again and then slip stitch back into the very same stitch. Now after the picot stitch, the next petal we will be making in the chain 1 space. So there's a chain 1 space between the 2 leaves. This is where we'll be making the next petal. So first make a slip stitch there, and then make a chain of 2, and then make 5 double crochets into this chain 1 space. So finish making the 5 double crochets. So the pattern for the petal remains the same for all the stitches. So we're going to make a total of 3 petals. This is the second petal, and the pattern remains the same. So after the 5 double crochet, we'll chain 2 and slip stitch back into the same chain 1 space. Now for the third petal, we'll make a slip stitch under the picot stitch of the second leaf. So This is the second leaf and this is the picot stitch. So just under it make a slip stitch first, then repeat the same pattern for the petal. That is, first make a chain of 2, then make 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So while making your stitches, you can also place the tail yarn under the stitches, so that while making the stitches itself, you are hiding the tail yarn. So this is what I did when I made these 3 petals. I made sure to hold the tail yarn under it, and that way I already have stitched in the tail, one of the tail yarns. Okay, so make the 5 double crochet and then make a chain of 2 and slip stitch to the same stitch, and now chain 1 and pull tight to make a knot and then trim it off. So here, this one tail yarn we have already stitched it in, so we can just trim it off directly. And the other tail yarn, you can use a smaller crochet hook and stitch it in to the flower. I prefer to stitch the tail yarn on the back side of the flower, so you can use a smaller crochet hook and turn the flower to the other side, and then on the back side pass the yarn through few of the existing stitches and pull it through few of these stitches and then trim off the excess. So once you're done with that, your flower bookmark is ready. You can use a stiffening spray and spray it over this bookmark to make it hold its shape better. But for me, this way itself, it doesn't look that bad. So I have made them in a number of colors, as you can see. So you can make these flowers of different colors and use them for gifting purposes. They are very quick and easy to make. You can make them in a hardly matter of 5 minutes. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If so, do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications on new videos. Also give me a thumbs up if this video was useful. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day, guys.